Serious, what are some unethical life hacks, NSFW? Can't write a good job application or CV? Post a job advertisement on those free websites for a position in the area you are interested in entering. Have random people apply to your fake job advertisement and use those CVs to create a master CV for yourself. Pro tip: make sure you're comfortable delivering a job performance that your CV's stated skills and experience imply. There's no faster road to losing all credibility than having people suggest you lied on your resume. Source: I've seen this happen more than I would reasonably expect. Learn from a homeless person on the bus. Put on your best suit, aka least disgusting suit. If you're a hobo, show up at funeral homes and act like you knew the deceased. Have free cake. Some woman showed up at my granddad's funeral and went back to my grand's house after for food. Nobody knew who she was, but she claimed she was there on behalf of her dad, who served in WW2 with my granddad and worked with him after. She talked non-stop and my gran was polite and listened for hours and served tea, etc. When the woman finally left, my gran just exclaimed, "Has that cow finally left?" It was just so out of character, I found it absolutely hilarious. Have affairs with realtors. They have keys to empty houses all over town. Here is kind of a relevant story. I'm in the process of buying a house, and the first house I met my real estate agent at, she was packing a pretty nice looking handgun. Said she had it just in case there were squatters on the property. Every house we went to see after that day, no handgun. Guess I wasn't threatening enough. Obligatory edit: it's a pretty nice town, but her overall area she works in includes parts of Detroit and Pontiac, so I'm sure she's had some pretty shady clientele in the past. I had not met her previously besides some emails, so it's understandable to want to carry in that situation. Try to tell a few lies, but do it really poorly. Confess to being a terrible liar. Do this periodically for things that don't matter. Actual lies go undetected. Edit: thanks for the gold. Or am I even thankful? You'll never know. Download the crappy watermark low-res image that iStock gives for free. Upload that in Google's image-based search and find many people hosting the high-res. A hard hat, safety vest, and white truck can give you access to most places. I have a blue truck with a toolbox and I haven't had any trouble doing this. Browse your local obituaries. Find an old man who's passed away, but make sure there is something along the lines of "George leaves behind his loving wife, Mitch, of 62 years. With the power of the internet, call up Midge on the phone and ask her about the used car ad she posted. Midge will tell you that she doesn't have a used car for sale. Reassure her that you saw the ad for the car. Midge just might think, maybe I can sell George's old car. It sure will help pay for all these new expenses. You see, George's old car is a nice luxury car, driven with the care and frequency that only an 87-year-old can give. Now you can go buy a practically new luxury car on the cheap. If you are married and interviewing for a position that requires travel, lose that ring and watch out for the ring tan line. If you aren't married and interviewing for a stable job, put on a wedding ring. If you have any close friends with kids, take some pics with them. If anyone questions you about the wife, just start looking like you are going to cry. No one will ask again. Having a family makes you a little less vulnerable to downsizing and gives you some great excuses for missing work. Hangover? Kid sick? Have to go to the hospital because a hooker jammed a clit stim up your ass? Kid sick? Use self-checkout lanes to buy expensive Honey Crisp apples, but tell the computer they are only bulk cheap apples. Just go find the rolled oats in the bulk aisle. Memorize its blue code. Then anything that requires being weighed is suddenly rolled oats at checkout. You're thinking too small. On Craigslist or Armslist, or any other classified site, find an item you want. Lowball the person from several different emails. Then send them a reasonable, but still below asking value, offer at them from your real email. After being lowballed all day, they'll jump at your real offer. Me and my buddy do this. He'll ask about the item and lowball. And get denied. Then he'll ask me to email or call someone and ask about the item and ask even lower. Roughly the same. Or higher than his lowball. After I build the seller's interest, I stop responding and they normally want to sell it bad enough to the point where my buddy will see if the person still has it and they come down on the price enough for my friend to buy it. There are flaws to this and it doesn't work all the time. But if it's something we want that bad, we'll suck it up and buy it outright instead of trying to find a steal. Whenever you go to buy a car, the sales guy will always give you that sheet that itemizes the charge and everything on it with the OTD price. That's the sheet that you sign when you agree on the price. What you do is take that sheet. Tell them you'll need to think about this. Do whatever you can. But take that sheet with you. Then scan that sheet into your computer. OCR that sheet. Change the numbers around to something you want that is reasonable. Make sure your math is right. Print it out. Bring it to another dealership and negotiate from that fake invoice. If you are meeting someone through Craigslist, ask them for their address first. Then go to Google Maps and pick a city the same direction, but twice the distance from their address. Tell the person from Craigslist you will meet them halfway. But in actuality they are coming to you because you live where halfway would be. Nobody is going to question your presence at a hotel's continental breakfast as long as you look okay. Confidence is everything. Or just look tired as hell and annoyed you gotta be up before 10 AM. Basically, go to the hotel before you go to school. You can make serious cash doing other people's homework for them. Made good money doing this in college off of one guy too lazy to do anything. He'd call me for answers to questions at any hour and I'd pick up. Find the answer. Call back. $10 per call. $20 if it was after midnight. He always was good for it. The best part is he asked basic sheet that I could Google in 10 seconds. Sometimes it was more in depth. But it never took much effort. I love rich dumb kids. So I guess this subject ties into a life lesson my grandma taught my mom. Growing up there has always been this big ass artistic rendition of map of South America hanging up on our wall. I guess the story of it was that it was originally at some gallery and my grandma just walks up to the goddamn wall, picks it off, and walks out calmly without hesitation. She told my mom that you could do anything as long as it looks like you know what you're doing and nobody will question it. Thankfully I don't see this being nearly as effective in today's world. Edit. I should make it clear my last comment was in regard to the specific act of grabbing a painting in a gallery. Not so much the larger premise because that's still obviously effective. I'm surprised nobody said Drew Gus. Honestly. Want to sleep less? Be more focused? Whatever. There's a drug for it. Edit. I've gotten 50+ messages saying they aren't unethical. While I think some drug usage should not be illegal. For example, using performance enhancing Drew Gus in an athletic situation is unethical. Building structures aren't as impenetrable as you might think. If a building has a composite shingle roof, you can typically just remove the shingles and cut through the backing underneath, usually plywood. In an unrelated note, alarm systems rarely monitor roofs. Also, if you're in a room with walls made of drywall, you're never really trapped. You can cut through the drywall and go through the wall itself. You know, if needed. When you buy a laptop or desktop, buy a warranty that includes accidental damage. Near the end of the warranty term, run Linpack or Furmark and block the exhaust vent. Leave it like that for a few hours and you'll get irreparable hardware damage. File a warranty claim and get a new laptop. The best part is there's no evidence of hardware tampering because you never even opened the case. Cheat with someone else who is in a relationship. Mutually assured destruction. Double the risk. If your cheating partner's real partner finds out, he'll probably tell you so. Buy TV at Walmart. Return TV to Walmart before 2 weeks. Come back in few days and buy said TV as open box item at a discount. Have to pay cash for at least one of the transactions, preferably both. Here is what I have done at places I have worked at. Say that your workplace has a TV or electronic device you would like to have. If you have the opportunity, you take it apart and disable it so that it won't turn on. Management will replace it and throw the old one in the trash where you can retrieve it and reconnect it so that it works. When I worked retail, nothing defective went in the trash until the managers were sure it was defective. TV screens were either slashed or broken and all electronics were crushed. It sucked knowing I'd never be able to dumpster dive any of it, but taking a break from customers to go to the back and take out your frustrations on broken merchandise with a sledge was wonderful. Use a self-checkout when you go to the grocery store. That big old porterhouse. 4011. That expensive organic lettuce you want? 4011. Cucumbers? 4011. Tomatoes? 4011. Everything is a 4011. Have a crack in your windshield? Find a city truck and call the number on the back saying the truck flung rocks at you and cracked your window. They'll confirm the truck was where you said it was and bam. New window free. If you are still in high school, middle school, buy candy and snacks at your local dollar value store and then take them to school and sell them for 2 to 3 times what you paid for them. Most of these kids get their money from their parents daily and have no idea the value of what they are buying. Look for sale candies that are between 10 and 33 cents and name brand. Selling store brand Pop-Tarts as name brand Pop-Tarts can also work surprisingly well. I used to make about 10-15 bucks a day doing this back when I was in high school, and the teachers rarely care unless you are disrupting class by selling them. Alternatively, wait for your school to do one of those chip sale for X reason things where kids sign up to sell X amount of chips. Then sign up for that. Sell your first batch. Then proceed to refill said batch with the snack pack chip bags you can get at any Walmart or grocery store. This can range anywhere from a 100% to 200% profit depending on if your school marks up the price of each bag to secure their cut. It's only unethical if you consider supply and demand economics unethical. Don't want to wait for your zone when boarding a flight? Tell them you have a peanut allergy and need to wipe down your seat. You will be one of the first people to board the plane. Brooklyn style free parking goes as follows. Find someone with a traffic citation on their car window. Take it. Park wherever the hell you please. Put citation on your window. When patrol rolls through, it looks as if you've already been dealt with. Edit. I was a victim of this. Didn't know I had an outstanding fine until I got a letter in the mail. Buy 100 bucks of beer at Walmart or wherever. Hand friend receipt after you buy. Friend returns and fills shopping cart with exact same amount and type of beer. Friend heads straight for door and hands receipt to door greeter who is old and doesn't notice. Double your beer on beer run. Buying and returning things. It's amazing how lenient the return policies at various stores can be. In college, I bought a 55 inches LED TV from Sam's Club and kept it in my apartment for 3 months and then returned it at the end of the semester for full money back and no questions asked. If security at a store stops to verify your receipt, assuming you have purchased everything, as you leave, simply decline and push past them. It is not lawful for them to hold you and you can sue for unlawful detainment. This does not apply to club stores like Costco. When you sign up there you agree to allow yourself to be searched in the contract. Late to the show. But if you're ever in need, go into any hotel and tell the front desk that you stayed or visited there recently and left your sunglasses. Describe any generic style and you're sure to get a free pair of shades. Works with black umbrellas too. Only date single moms. They are so preoccupied with their kids that they aren't too worried about what you do on your free time, unlike single unattached women, and mostly only call you for sex. You are then free to date other single moms. To cancel a cell phone provider without any fees, look up their service map. Find a town outside of coverage and tell them you want to cancel because you are moving to that town and want to cancel because they have no service there. If you have an older apartment building where cable was installed after the building was built, Then there is likely cabling conduit that runs vertically on the outside of the building, usually by the balcony. Pop it open and put in a splicer. Thank your neighbors for free cable TV. Try travel hacking. You essentially sign up for credit cards that have big sign-up bonuses. For example, spend $3,000 in 3 months for 50,000 points worth at least $600. Don't use the card anymore. Then cancel. Or threaten to cancel the card in about 10-11 months before you have to pay the annual fee. I have a 750 plus credit score, 28 lines of credit, and I've racked up well over 1 million points worth $10,000, $20,000. I fly almost everywhere first class and stay in hotels for free. Going on 4 years doing this now. All of my free travel is subsidized by the idiots racking up credit card debt and late fees. This one isn't unethical. But if you go to Dunkin' Donuts about 30 minutes before closing time, they will give you all their leftover donuts if you ask. If you don't, they just throw them away. If you are at a grocery store, go to the produce section. Then take a grape and eat it. Everyone will think you are just testing the grapes. But really you just wanted a grape.